Yo guys, Anthony Audley on behalf of LFC Transfer Room, and today we're going to be going through a combined 11 with our next opponents, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Being from Wolverhampton myself, of course I know a few of their fans, and one in particular is joining us today, Jack. So how are you, mate?
I'm alright, my friend. It's been a while. Suffering with a love-hate relationship with my football team, same as you, but we'll be back. And two tough seasons, but we'll be back.
If you haven't watched the Chelsea combined 11 already, we're only going to select players who are fit at the moment, so there'll be no Van Dijk or Raul Jimenez. And we're only going to select players based on this season. So if they haven't performed well or up to their standards of previous seasons, no selection for them. Starting off in goal, I've got Alisson Becker. Although his form has dipped recently, he's conceded less goals than Patricio and has a high save success rate. So Jack, who have you got in goal?
Well, I've gone for my boy Rui. Whereas you say Alisson's form's dipped recently, I think Rui's proper got back into it. He's won us points alone, as a top keeper should like him. Against the likes of Leeds, Southampton. He started off the season quite poor, to be fair. One of the lowest percentage shots saved in the league, which is unlike him. But he's proper got back into it now. And if I'm basing off at the minute, I think Rui's in better form for us, I do.
The next spot in the team is left back, and I've gone for Andy Robertson once again. For me, best left back in the world and arguably best full back in the world. Unless you've gone for Johnny Jack, who else have you got in your left back spot?
Nah, of course I've gone for Andy Robertson. Don't get me wrong, Johnny. I think Johnny's really helped us. He stabilised us again after his injury. And he's a top defender. He really does help us. But when I'm talking to the levels, yeah, I've got to go Andy Robertson. There's no bias here from me. 100%. Like you said, he's one of the top left backs and full backs in the world at this current time, definitely. Alright, well for my first centre back, don't get me wrong, based on this season, it's not a lot to go off with injuries and inconsistency. And I know what you said at the start, it's probably based on form and stuff, but no one's really in great form, are they? But I'm going to go for Willy Bolly, based on the fact he's still a top defender for us. He hasn't hit the levels that he has been in recent years for us. He's been a bit shaky, he's been a bit injury prone quite recently. I still think on his day he's 100% our best defender. But at the same time, he doesn't really have much to go for in this Wolves team, with the rest of our defence being mainly midfielders. What about you, Ant?
I actually disagree with you, Jack. I've gone with Connor Cody. Him being from Liverpool may have had a small little impact on my decision making. However, like you said, I don't really think any of our centre backs have been great this season. So yeah, he takes my number one spot. Taking my second centre back spot is Roman Says. He's averaged a goal every 6 matches so far in the league this season. And at Liverpool and Wolves, I don't really think there's any centre backs for them who have such an attacking threat as him. So who's taking your second centre back spot, Jack?
Well, I could have gone for Saiss, but I'm going to go for Fabinho as a player. Manny's played out of his position for most of the season, and he's still looked world class. Especially, well, when him and Henderson were a partnership for a bit, they worked really well. And like you say, our defence, yeah, I could have gone for Saiss, could have gone for Kilman when he's played, but just as a player overall, I've got to go for Fabinho.
Taking the right back spot, I've gone with Trent Alexander-Arnold. It was an extremely tough decision between him and Nelson Semedo, but I think Trent's a lot better offensively, Nelson Semedo better defensively. And for me personally, I prefer my fullbacks high up the pitch so I can whip balls into the forwards. Who have you gone with, Jack?
Yeah, it's a tough one really, to be fair. I want to say Semedo, but I'm going to go for Trent. You've literally just based it off that there. Semedo is better defensively, but Trent offensively, he brings goals to the team and stuff. Like, whereas Semedo has nullified us at the back, and he's really come on in the second half of the season. He's shown some consistency, but based on, and I don't judge people off goal contributions at the back, but I'm gonna just go Trent based on that.
Now the reason I didn't have Fabinho in my back line is because I've got him in defensive midfield position. So I've gone with a 4-3-3 defensive midfielder. It was very refreshing to see him play midweek against Leipzig in defensive midfield once again. Hopefully he can play like that for the rest of the season and even put in a man-of-the-match performance. I don't really think there's anyone at Wolves better than him, or even so the rest of the Premier League in that defensive midfield slot, so he's the obvious option I've gone for.
Well, to be fair, as you've gone defensive, I've gone attacking minded, and I'd say the most furthest forward out of the three would have to be Curtis Jones for me. I'm basing it pure off the fact he's had a great season. He's integrated himself really well into the Liverpool squad. He's a special player, I think, and he'll go far. And even, I don't think he will, but with injuries maybe, there could even be a slight chance of him making the initial 30 of the England squad. He won't make the 23, I don't think, but maybe the 30.
Playing further up the field, I've got Ruben Neves down. I think with Liverpool's midfield constantly rotating, it's a bit hard for them to, you know, be on some good form. Overall, maybe not Ruben Neves. I would have gone with Wijnaldum, but Wolves player of the month so far, Ruben Neves. I don't really think there's anyone that compares to him, so he's taking my first midfield slot. Who have you gone with, Jack?
I've also gone for the boy Ruben. Man, since that boy's come here, he's what a player. Obviously, you being linked with him many times recently. We were playing him far too deep at the start of the season, but now he's been given a freedom to go forward, and he's been kicking in with a few goals recently. Don't get me wrong, they're penalties, but he did have a smart header away at Newcastle. But the bloke's class, and honestly, I know you shouldn't say it's about one player, but I'd build the whole team around him. That is how much I rate the lad.
Taking my last midfield spot, I've gone with Thiago Alcantara. Similar to you with Ruben Neves, I still can't believe we've actually managed to sign him. And this season, he may have not been at the level he was at Bayern Munich, but he's still a top player. And at Wolves, they've got Matinho. Is he at the level Thiago's at? Can't really say so. So, yeah, Thiago's taking my last midfield spot. What about you, Jack?
Yeah, same for me, mate, definitely. Joe's aging now, and he's starting to show Dendonker's... I don't know what the role is with Dendoncker recently. We're playing defence, midfield. He's more than I think at the minute, if we want to go forward, and I really like that, but I think he's a squad player. But Thiago, you can't doubt it. He's world class. I didn't really want him gone when he was at Barcelona originally, because he would have been perfect for them. But the lad's unreal. His footballing brain and ability, yeah. So Thiago 100%. On the left hand side, it was always going to be my boy Pedro Neto. What a season the lad is having. He's literally carried us. Don't get me wrong, we've not hit the highs and we've not really gone anywhere, but he's been the main spot this season. 5 goals, 5 assists, the most under 21 goal contributions in the league, and he's up there with the top talents in the world at the minute, even in the league ahead of Foden and the likes of Saka. He's literally unreal, and if we don't look our ideas up, the bloke will go on to bigger and better things. He can really hit the top. I can't believe the difference from this time last season to now. He's just next level. So I'm hoping you've gone for Neto as well.
Yeah, of course I've got Pedro Neto. I don't think Mane's really hit the heights as he did last season. And if you put Neto in this Liverpool squad instead of Mane, I think he achieves a lot more. And, you know, we could be higher up in the league table. Like you said, Neto got the most goal contributions for under 21 this season. Fantastic when there's the likes of Foden, Greenwood and Saka there. So yeah, of course Neto takes my first attacking spot. Quite an obvious option, I've gone with Mohamed Salah. Top scorer of the Premier League this season, and although I don't think we should judge players solely on goals and assists, TRAORE, he's not really at that level of Mohamed Salah, and that's no disrespect. I don't think anyone in the league is, to be honest. So hopefully you've gone with the same option, Jack.
Yeah, bloke's a machine. I think it was a stat the other day I saw he's nearly hit 100 goals, or he might have, I can't remember, in the quickest amount of games, or one of the quickest of the wingers in the Prem. Adama, like you said, bro, a lot of people judge him based off stats and goal contributions, which it's wrong, because if you see the work he does, he's a very frustrating player. I've never known anyone like him. But when you're comparing him to Mohamed Salah, then it's only one winner right there. Okay, my last pick, and yeah, still this day, but it's obviously Jota, the man down the middle who he's actually fitted really well in that role, whereas he used to play out wide or as an inside forward for us. But the man, he's just hit the highs there. He really has for you. He's before he got injured anyway. I do think the transfer itself at the time, it came about right for the amount of money, because Pedro and Neto were in better form than him. He didn't really have the greatest of seasons, despite still scoring quite a few overall, but they tended to be in Europe. Still love the man though, and yeah, no one else is going to be my striker. So what about you, lad?
Same as you, Jack. I've gone with Diogo Jota. Like you said, he wasn't great last season, but he was still scoring goals. But this season, I think he's performed exceptionally well, and he's still scoring goals for us. Got his first assist the other day as well against Leipzig, and he's offering that more of an offensive threat than Firmino was, who isn't having the best of seasons. And, you know, Jota looks like he's going to take Firmino's spot in the future. And if Jimenez wasn't injured, I think I would have gone with him instead. But looking at the situation, I've got no choice but to go with Jota. Let us know in the comment section down below whose team you thought was better. And let us know your combined 11 between Liverpool and Wolves. Just before we go, Jack, what's your score predictions for Monday's match?
I think I've always got to back the boys no matter what. It's our most consistent, and it's still not been great part of the season. So I'm going to go for a 1-0. Yeah, 1-0 Wolves win. So what are you going for?
It's very tough. It's very tough. Because it depends what Liverpool turn up. I think the form we're on in the Premier League especially is not great.
Yeah.
However, away from home, we may look a bit different. So I'm going to go with a 3-0 Liverpool win. Hopefully I've not just, jinxed us. But yeah, 3-0. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure you're subscribed to the LFC Transfer Room channel with notifications on. I've been Anthony Audley and I'm signing out. Peace.